Yeah, this is Edberry. I was just reminiscing when I first went to the pen and shit, and when I got out of Hawaii, you already know. So when I did get out, man, I tried to get in the dope game. I didn't know shit about the dope game, but the homie gave me some rock toy. You can make it about $200 there. So I took my whole hand, stuck it in the car, they slapped the shit out. The smoker slapped it out my hand, pulled out like, oh, they gonna rob me and shit. So it was kind of like up and down the dope game thing. I got me another pack and went to jail. I got called a possession case and shit. So they gave me 16 months to prison. I was like, okay. So I went to Chino. That's the first time I've been in prison. This was like 85. I went to Chino and shit. And it was a laid back pen. They had a swimming pool, golf course, all that shit. Like, damn, nigga should have went to the pen a long time ago to look like this. But it was like laid back, man. Everybody was cool. The homies was up there with me. It was my homie Bear, rest in peace. And, you know, I used to fuck with a little Mousy from 107, and you know, my homie Eyes and a few more homies up there. You know what I mean? So you know, it was like cool. They was kicking back, and I did like about 8 months off that shit and got out. Tried to do it again. I told myself, when I get out, I ain't gonna do this shit no more. Got out, did it again, and went right back to the pen. This time they gave me like about two or 3 years again after that 16 months. So I ended up going up north to Jamestown back then, man. So this pen had a gang of dorms, and I mean, it was motherfucker everywhere on the yard. So, you know, niggas just chilling and, you know, but you know me, I'm like with the business, a rider, fuck this, just like Broadway and no way, you know, Broadway criminal, you know what I mean? I was like Broadway, you know, and I got up to the pen and I seen how loose the yard was. I said, fuck that, I'm finna change this yard, this shit. Started having the crip meets and all this shit. So, you know, I hooked up with my boy Blinky from 9-7 Gangster. He rested in peace, but that was my boy, my right hand man right there. You know what I mean? That nigga used to put in work. So I had a crib meet. I called the Crips to the bleachers and shit. And Blinky was really like doing all the talking once I introduced myself, who I was and shit. Then Blinky, you know, me and him discussed what we were gonna talk about, how we gonna have these niggas, this and that in the pen. So after we called that meeting, Blinky doing all the talking, but he like, yeah, ain't that right, Bo? I was like, yeah, that's right. That's how we gonna do it. Woo, 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 woo. You know, so the yard was cool for a minute, and this little brother from Daly City, Frisco, I had him under my wing. He wanted to be a Crip, but you know, they got the up north dudes and the down south card, you know what I mean? So, you know, up north really didn't mess with us like that. So dude wanted to be a Crip, so he running around talking about cuz and woo from LA and we claiming the Broadway and shit. So the niggas from up north came and got at me and shit, like, man, you could have turned our people out, like they wanted some fun. I like, wow. So, you know, I said, you know what? We go handle this shit. So I called another Crip meet. I told him what's up with the up north dudes and shit. So I told him after dinner, everybody just meet me on the weight pile. We just go take it to him and shit. So, you know, I didn't go to dinner. I just went to the weight pile because when they release your building, you stay in the yard. So I went to the weight pile. So I'm waiting on all the Crips to come out the chow hall and shit. I'm just sitting there watching on this shit, you know. Me, T from Grape, and Al from Big Al, and all of us on the weight pile hitting it and shit, lifting iron and shit. So when the weight pile got deep, about 100 of us on the yard like Crips, man. We were deep as a motherfucker. So I looked across the field by the GM. I see all the other North dudes right there and shit. So I said, cuz when I walk off this weight pile, all y'all like fall behind me. So when I walked off the weight pile, all the Crips came behind me. And the officer put a roadblock over heading that way with a 415 one. They deep looking and shit, see what I'm saying? So they know it's finna go down. So the police calling my name, Edberry, stop, stop, stop. I like, man, fuck all that. We went straight to the deputies. I mean, not the deputies, the COs. And went straight and started fighting the 415s and shit. They busting on them, stabbing them, and all kind of shit, man. So, you know, they start running to the gym, because we were so deep, they start running to the gym. But the towers, they were just shooting like a motherfucker, and the grass going up, this and that. And I'm like, wow. So I made it back. We all broke and ran and shit, trying to get away from the shell. People laying down, we laying down, and I'm sliding and keep trying to slide, because I ain't trying to get shot. So once they cleared the yard, all the smoke came up, they cuffed us all up and took it all to our dorms and locked these dorms with everybody in the same dorm. So we was off lockdown. It took about a day or two. It wasn't really much. So I'm on the weight pile again and shit. And you know, we talking about shit. So I see the warden, I see the lieutenant, the sergeant, and all of them are walking our way. And two more COs regular. I'm like, damn, what the fuck they coming over here for? They said, Red, I'm like, yeah. They said, come here. They cuffed me up. Then they called Blinky and cuffed them up. I'm like, damn, that's fucked up. So we went to the hole. It was the hole was like a dorm, like really no hole. I was like, oh, this cool right here. They could do it the whole time. Shit, about 5 minutes, they called my ass back to the front, cuffed me back up. Then they cuffed my boy up. Man, they took us in the hospital, down some stairs, in a dungeon, like saying like some real shit be on TV, some dungeon shit, with a bunk and a desk and a toilet. I'm like, oh my God. I'm like, man, what type of shit is this? No, I didn't even know they built shit like this underground like that in prisons, man. So I went underground, man. So, you know, Blinky was my Shelly, and they were feeding us good to the motherfucker. So, like, the first 6 months, they took me to the board, me and Blinky. They cut Blinky loose. They just said, no, I'm a shot caller of the Crips. They keeping me back there. I'm like, wow. So they had me labeled as the shot caller of the Crips and shit. So I had my blue rag on my head too when I went into the board. I had my blue rag on my head and I just mob and shackled up and shit. So they called me a Tasmanian devil. I was like, man, fuck y'all cracker motherfucker. They was slamming me against the wall and shit, the officers. Nah, man, I like, man, y'all take these cuffs off me, man. Y'all motherfuckers, y'all want to rough a nigga up with a nigga all shackled up and shit. Talking about how I disrespect the board, man, fuck them crackers, you know? So I did another 6 months. So they built a level 3 yard. And once they built it, I was the first inmate to be in that prison. There was not one inmate in that prison but me. So I could see daylight. Cause they took me from underground. I heard niggas calling me and they're like, Bo, cuz you pale as mother, you white, cuz. I'm like, yeah. But they would talk to me about I was underground so long, I couldn't get my vision. I was like, who is that? Who is that? I couldn't see your shit. I'd be like, oh, they tell me their name. I'm like, oh, what's up, girl? So by the time I could start, my vision started coming back. I was in the van, shackled up. You know what I mean? I couldn't talk to the homies and shit. So when I went to the hole, I was the only one in prison. So, you know, they were like messing with me, man. You know, like the next day, they said, you want some program? Rack my door. I'm like, man, what the hell I'm gonna talk to? Know what I mean? So I sit in there, I'm like, fuck this. I'll go back in my cell, man, just stand there. Know what I mean? So, you know, they were just like, but they like give me extra trays and make sure I'm eating good in there, 'cause I was there by myself in the whole prison. So one day I'm laying on my bed. They said, Red, come to the door. I went to the door like, what's up, man? All the COs in the motherfucking prison was at my door. Talk about you the first inmate to break in a new prison. They clapping their hands and all. I'm like, man, fuck all y'all, man. I got off the door, laid back down and shit. I'm like, wow. I could believe that shit. So, you know, after that, man, when they start bringing people in and shit, You know, so I said one of my little homies, I said, hey, boom, 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 all up, man, put him in my cell, put him in my cell. You sure you want to cell? I'm like, yeah, that's my little homeboy Spider and shit. So, you know, they brought Spider to my cell, man. I was happy to see, I hated to see them, you know, we just chilling and shit. I took them all the rundown. They had a shot called the Crips, all kind of shit. So I was up doing at least about 16 months. I end up way past my getting out date. I would catch a time like a motherfucker. I'm like, damn. You know, so I know the story gets interesting, but subscribe me, you know what I mean? You know, Edberry, see what I'm saying? And you know, yeah, get more of the story later.